Why do children remember a life that never existed? It's a question that sounds like the start of a spooky story, but for thousands of parents, it's a very real and unsettling reality. Imagine this. Your 4-year-old son starts talking about his other family. He describes a wife he loved, a job he had as a pilot, and the day his plane went down in flames over the Pacific. He gives you names, dates, and details so specific, so vivid, that it sends a shiver down your spine. He's never been on a plane. He's never even seen the ocean. This isn't a one-off story. All over the world, there are documented cases of young children who recall, with stunning clarity, entire lifetimes they couldn't possibly have lived. They talk about being soldiers in wars that ended decades before they were born, or craftsmen in ancient villages. They describe the layouts of houses they've never seen and recognize people in old photographs they have no connection to. The mainstream explanation: an overactive imagination, or maybe picking up stories from TV or family conversations. But can imagination really account for the sheer detail? Can it explain a child suddenly speaking a few phrases of a language they've never been taught? Or a toddler pointing to a spot on a map and saying, "That's where I used to live," correctly identifying a tiny, obscure town hundreds of miles away? This phenomenon, known as past life memory, has been studied for decades. Researchers like Dr. Ian Stevenson at the University of Virginia investigated over 2,500 of these cases. He wasn't some fringe theorist. He was a respected psychiatrist. He meticulously documented the children's claims and then tried to verify them. And in hundreds of instances, he found startling correlations. He located records of deceased individuals whose lives matched the children's stories in dozens of specific details. He even found cases where children had birthmarks that corresponded to fatal wounds on the body of the person they claimed to be. For example, there's the famous case of James Leininger. From the age of 2, he started having terrible nightmares about a plane crash. He'd shout, "Airplane on fire! Little man can't get out!" During the day, he'd talk about his Corsair plane, his ship the Natoma, and a friend named Jack Larson. His parents, initially skeptical, started researching. They discovered that a World War II pilot named James Houston Jr. was killed in action over the Pacific. His plane, a Corsair, his ship, the USS Natoma Bay, his co-pilot who witnessed the crash. His name was Jack Larson. The details lined up perfectly. How could a toddler in Louisiana know all of this? So, what's really going on here? Reincarnation is the obvious and, for many, the most comforting answer. The idea that a soul, a consciousness, carries on from one life to the next. It's a belief central to many Eastern religions, suggesting we are here to learn lessons, and we keep coming back until we get it right. It would explain the memories, the skills, even the phobias that some of these children seem to be born with a fear of water in a child who remembers drowning, for instance. But let's push past the spiritual and into the truly strange. Let's consider a different theory, one that's far more unsettling. What if these aren't memories of a past life? What if they are memories of a different life, a parallel one? The multiverse theory, a concept from quantum physics, suggests that there could be an infinite number of universes coexisting with our own. In these other universes, there are other versions of you living out different choices. What if, for some reason, the barrier between these realities is thinnest for young children? Think about it. A child's mind is still developing. It's more fluid, more open. Perhaps, in rare cases, they're not remembering a soul's journey through time, but accidentally tapping into the consciousness of a counterpart in another dimension. A version of themselves who actually was a pilot, or a soldier, or lived in that small town. This would explain why the memories are often so specific and grounded in a verifiable reality, just not this asterisk reality. It would also explain why these memories almost always fade as the child gets older, usually by the age of 7 or 8. As their brain solidifies and their sense of self becomes more rooted in this world, the connection to that other life closes. The door shuts. This idea is mind-bending, but it has some strange support. Have you ever experienced déjà vu? That overwhelming feeling that you've been in a situation before? Or what about the Mandela effect, where large groups of people collectively remember something that never actually happened? Like remembering a movie that doesn't exist, or a historical event playing out differently. Skeptics blame false memory, but could it be a bleed-through? A glitch in the matrix where we're momentarily accessing a memory from a parallel timeline. For children, this glitch might be a wide-open channel. But here's where the conspiracy truly deepens. What if this isn't an accident? What if it's a program? There's a theory lurking in the darkest corners of the internet known as the soul-catching net or reincarnation trap. This theory posits that when we die, our consciousness isn't free to move on. Instead, it's guided or forced through a process often described as a tunnel of light that wipes our memories and recycles us back into a new life on Earth. The purpose? To keep us here as a source of energy for unseen entities. It's a cosmic farm, and we are the livestock. According to this theory, the memories young children have are the remnants, the fragments that the memory wiping process failed to erase completely. They are the system's errors. The children who remember past lives aren't blessed with spiritual insight. They are the ones who got away with a piece of their true self intact. The reason the memories fade is not because the child is growing up, but because the programming of this reality school, society, culture kicks in and overwrites the last vestiges of their previous existence. They are taught to forget. It sounds insane, right? But consider the implications. If this were true, it would mean that history, spirituality, everything we believe about life and death is a carefully constructed lie. It would mean that the light that near-death experiencers talk about isn't a gateway to heaven, but the entrance to an amnesia-inducing recycling plant. The beings of light they meet aren't angels or guides, but wardens of a planetary prison, coaxing us back into the cycle. This theory reframes the entire human experience. Our struggles, our joys, our search for meaning, it all becomes part of a grand, cosmic deception. The children who remember aren't just curious anomalies. They are glitches in the control system. They are evidence that the system isn't perfect. So we are left with a spectrum of possibilities. At one end, it's just childhood fantasy. In the middle, it's the beautiful spiritual journey of reincarnation. But at the far, dark end, it's a sign that our reality is a meticulously crafted illusion designed to trap our consciousness. The evidence is there. Thousands of documented cases, verified details, and children who know things they have no business knowing. The question is how you choose to interpret it. Are these the echoes of a soul's-long journey, or are they the terrifying proof of a system designed to make us forget we are prisoners? And this brings us to the final, most chilling question. If children occasionally remember a life that came before, what essential, world-shattering truths have the rest of us been forced to forget? Thanks for watching. If this story made you think, hit that like button and subscribe for more journeys into the unknown. Stay curious.